wasn't she interested with always saying that our gifts would make room for us and always encouraging us to? She said, "You just not work at the McDonald's.
That's right.
Own it."
Own it. Hello, and welcome back to another great episode of Love Speaks, where love speaks what love is, whether it is socially, spiritually, or currently. Love Speaks. Here on this platform, and this is season 2 of Love Speaks, we love to talk to individuals who have a strong passion for what they believe in. Hence, when love speaks. One of the things I like to often practice is I like to do my very, very best to be as honest as possible when I'm in the presence of whomever, especially if it hurts. Honesty without kindness is abuse, and kindness without honesty is manipulation. There is a thin line between manipulation and influence. Influence ensures that the outcome will benefit more than one individual, and particularly the person you are influencing. Manipulation, only one winner is in the midst of manipulation, and that's yourself. So, in this climate that we live in, it is so important to recognize individuals of influence. I'm here with a beautiful soul, a dear friend, and might I add, even a producer along on this set of Love Speaks. But this time I get a chance to talk to her and about the work she's doing. Give it up for my sister and my friend, Dr. Gloria.
Thank you very much, Rinso. I appreciate this opportunity to be on Love Speaks on the other side.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate um we're about to talk about an individual, but I can see the light of that individual radiating through you. And I want to say that I greatly appreciate all of your contributions and how you do it with a willing heart. And I'm so proud of the woman you are. And so I just celebrate you. Of course, on this Love Speaks, your love most definitely speaks. Let's talk about something that you have been working on, you are working on, which deals with a mentor who have really impacted both of our lives.
Yeah.
The Dr. Rebecca Juliet Walker Steele Project.
Well, that this project is so important to me because I feel that it is definitely something of a life calling in a sense.
Yes.
Back in 2019, we're just getting ready to go into the pandemic. And oftentimes people are like, well, why you so want to do this project? What's going on? I had a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And in my dream, Dr. still had on all white. And she was behind a desk and she was talking to me. And in the dream, she said kitchen, because that's what she called me. She said, kitchen, meet me at 1:30. And I was like, okay, doc. I took the pen down, wrote down, tried to write, and I couldn't write.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't write it. And she picked up the pen and she wrote 1:30. And one of the things that she told me, she say, number one, don't grieve the life, celebrate the life.
Mm.
Okay.
That's good.
Right. And she also told me two more other things. But the second thing that she told me was don't criticize people. Don't criticize. Always empower,
Mm.
believe, and support. It was another third thing. I could share it later. But after that, I got up from the dream and I was like, why I dreamt about dog? I couldn't understand it. And I called one of my friends, and he's no longer here. His name is Gerard Miller. And he said, Gloria, he said, well, write it down, Gloria, just see what it's about, and so I just wrote it out and didn't think nothing of it. It was not until we got into the pandemic and I think a lot of us felt like, oh my God, we finna leave up out of here. And I went to sleep again. And when I woke up, I heard the Dr. Rebecca Walker Steele Project, the woman, the legend, the music. And I text my friend Charlie 5:30 in the morning. I said, Charlie, I just had another interesting thing encounter. Rebecca Walker Steele, the woman, the legend, the music. She said, no, Glow, it's not that. It's the woman, her music, the legend. So I go ahead and I go to, we know Kyrie Denby, right? The
Yes.
famous, amazing Kyrie Denby. I went to Louisville to spend time with him because that's something I would break away. And I was supposed to stay with him, but actually I didn't wind up staying with him. I stayed with his mom. And I remember walking into the living room and I got the whole download of what I've been doing, working on now.
Yeah.
The scale, the blueprint, not even the scale, the blueprint, the full out of what this project would really mean. And throughout this project, I've really found out that Dr. Steele not only taught music, she provided a sense of humanitarianism,
Exactly.
and she used music as one of those platforms to build community, to be a probably, if not the world's greatest educational philanthropist, educating more than 1 million people, and it's still going on today.
Wow. So that was going to be my question. Who is
Yeah.
Dr. Rebecca Juliet Walker Steele? And so you say she's an educator, she's a philanthropist. Who is she?
She is she's a academic first and foremost.
Yeah.
Doc was extremely smart, very well educated. She was a child prodigy, started playing the piano at very early age, around 4. She grew up in Lakeland, Florida. She was the only child. And she also had the opportunity to use her music to leverage herself in educating herself so that she can basically educate a whole, I won't even say the world,
Exactly.
And she is someone who really looked beyond herself to create a loving platform to use not just music, but also the performing arts
Yeah.
and also dance and theater. And it was very interesting because Dr. Williams, he's a professor emeritus at Bethune-Cookman College, and
Yeah.
he was also a music professor with piano. He said that Dr. Steele had a theatrical sound and a
Mhm.
performance opportunity that allowed individuals to be embraced by that. Because before that, there was like a bel canto sound with the concert chorale. A lot of music was extremely a cappella.
Wow.
So, with her combination of 66 plus years in education as a college and university professor at 2 major colleges, but now are universities, FAMU and the great Bethune-Cookman College, now university. So, because of that impact that she had within these 2 amazing historical Black colleges, it really sets the landscape of really embracing the tonality of her being the humanitarian that she has been and she will forever be.
Absolutely. And I know that's how we met.
Right.
Under the leadership of Dr. Rebecca Walker Steele, that I received a music scholarship
Right.
and had the opportunity to travel and perform.
Right.
A little boy from Miami who didn't go a lot of different places, but through her
Right.
and her scholarship, and she made us work forward. We had a chance to encounter her through her latter years
Right.
in life. The latter years in life. And for me, I can just have memories of just some of the stuff Doc would just say. And some of the stories
Right,
she
right,
would
right.
give. But one of them that was kind of cute and that would always rock the crowd was we always in our concerts with the Bethune-Cookman College Concert Chorale, we would march into the churches or the auditoriums that we would perform in. And one of the things Doc would say is, in my younger years, I wore the short skirts and the long hair. But now in my older years, I wore the short hair in the long skirts. And the audience would just crack up laughing at this woman so full of age, but still so full of humor and fun and care. What stories surprise or move you the most in creating this Rebecca Walker Steele project?
There are so many stories because I've had the opportunity to listen to probably more than 300 stories over the past, I would say over the past 3.5 to 4 years. But the one that stands out the most to me, if I had to select, I wanted to talk to individuals who actually had a lot additional side of her because, you know, Doc shared herself with all of us in a very unique way. And that's the thing I really liked about her, because when you spent your time with her, it was you. You know what I mean? And she made you feel super special. I called Jason, and actually I sent him an email on LinkedIn. He responded back to me, and we talked, and he shared the story about Anchored in the Lord. And he told me, he said, yes, you know, a lot of people wanted to know why that song, she always had that song to be sung. And when I came there, Tasha Como sang the song, and then Don Wade sung the song, which is now Don Humphrey, right? And so he told me the story that Dr. Steele didn't have any money, you know, but we know Doc carried a lot of money on that bus, and a lot of times we didn't even know how much money Doc was carrying on that bus, but she had money. But at this particular time, she didn't have money. Something had happened, and so the Spirit said to her, have whomever to sing Anchored in the Lord. Now, mind you, she have a bus full, you know, it's 2 buses, and you know it's full to the brim. We have our what is it? Our carry-on bag, overnight bag in the front. All the rest of the stuff at the bottom of the bus. You know, she had a bunch. There's 2 bus loads of kids. I'm saying kids with college students. Probably another bus, and she is in. You know, she is imparted within herself. You know, spiritually divine to sing, to have one. The soloist to sing "Anchored in the Lord."
Yes.
When she sang "Anchored in the Lord," someone gave her a check of either $100,000 or more.
Wow.
And so ever since that divine interaction, she always kept that song on rotation in every place we went, every program, every agenda.
Yeah.
And so I truly believe that Doc was on purpose, in purpose.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then also for the longevity of it, 66 plus years, doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
You gotta love it.
You have to love it.
And be called to it.
I'm telling you. Absolutely. And she was that. She was the epitome of that. For me, it was amazing. Her mind was amazing. Her mind was amazing. Me being a Pentecostal boy from Miami, Florida, going to Daytona Beach and singing in a lot of, and no offense to the United Methodist Church, but we sung at a lot of United Methodist churches. And every now and then we would come across a church, like we church at home.
Right.
But Dr. Steele was very strict and precise in how she carried herself and how she wanted us to carry ourselves. Yeah. And I remember one time it was like they were having praise and worship, and I couldn't wait to be a part of some praise and worship. And I said, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to get into this. And I started clapping my hand, and oh, yeah. And when I started standing up, some of the older students was like, oh, sit down. What are you doing? I'm like, we in church. I'm all right. I can do this. And Dr. Steele looked at me and say,
Wasn't she a person of protocol?
She was.
Immense protocol.
And I was highly offended by that. And I, when we got back to the hotel, I went up to the penthouse to her room. And she let me in, and she talked about whatever she wanted to talk about at first. And I addressed the issue. And that encounter with her helped me to understand her mind, her method, and how she is a woman of structure. She believed in so much structure. How do you think Dr. Steele's legacy reflects the broader impact of HBCU music traditions
Mm-hmm.
and Black music education.
Being it and being an example and leading. And not, I don't believe Dr. Steele was believing that she was leading. I think that she just felt that she was doing the work that she was called to do. But I think that it creates a sense of culture, representation, because there are, Doc was graduating in like 1946 and 1950,
Yeah.
and for a Black woman to go to school, to major in piano, it was a lot of influential things that was actually happening. And actually, we were in the making of history.
That's right.
So she is history. She's American history. She's Black history. She's also music history. She's so many auspices of history that I think that it is just a forward move in our culture for us to embrace that. Oftentimes that's not inserted into the textbooks. We learn about Bach, and Chopin,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
Mozart, Mozart, all these different people. But sometimes we can escape, America can escape their music, which is Black music, And so I think that embracing Dr. Steele's legacy allows the legacy and the cultural and the esteem and the pride of Black America to rise up and to also appreciate and value their uniqueness and embrace that as a whole.
Yes.
And as we know, music is the universal language, whether if you're not talking, silence or not, I believe that force just propels us even higher and even more.
Exactly.
Right.
And she really connected us, I feel like, with so much greatness that this next generation coming up will never experience.
Because she built community.
Yes.
She was about community. She built community. She encouraged us to build community and communities with one another.
Yeah.
Because it was so interesting in the podcast. We have a podcast called the Rebecca Walker Steele Experience Summer Tour. It's on all the platforms. And one of the individuals who spoke, he said that I came to the corral, and it's so interesting to me that the relationships that I have established are lifelong relationships.
Absolutely.
These people are my best friends. And Tamika Bennett, I remember she said to me, it was so interesting, I was talking to her one day, she said, Doc told us that what we need is in here. It's in the room, So we patronized each other. Someone did hair, we went to that person. Someone cut hair, we went to that person. Yeah. Someone knew how to dress or whatever, we went to them. We built community, but she built community, she built culture, and she was intentional about us living to our best ability. And then always talking about the eagles. You're a chicken or you're an eagle. She really wanted us to believe in ourselves. And then also she knew she was a leader. I will say that. She knew she was a leader, and she knew she had leaders in there, and she had to establish and equip us to lead.
Yes. And I think she pushed everyone.
Yes.
Her analogy of the garbage truck remain constant about your degrees, your high school diploma versus your bachelor's degrees, master's, and your doctors. You on the joint with the doctors.
Right.
And those are some of the things that she did. And like you said, it was community. I was just talking to one of my coworkers, and I was telling them, I remember singing for Richard Smallwood. We were with the concert chorale. I remember being in the same room and being under the direction of Dr. Glenn Burley.
Yes. They came to our classroom. And taught us their music.
Taught us order our steps in your word.
Taught us music.
The famous jazz artist Max Roach.
Yes.
I still could hear Black Rock, Black Rock, Black Rock, Black Rock.
Yes.
I can still hear all of that.
Yes.
And she introduced us.
Yeah.
Made that accessible to us. And so now you gathered a lot of this, and you said it's on a podcast.
Yes, it is. It is on currently we are on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, everywhere. It is still strong. The Rebecca Walker Still Experience Summer Tour.
Awesome, awesome. What was the biggest challenge for you in bringing all of that together for that multimedia experience?
You know what? I'm going to say this, and this may be like, wow. I know it was for me knowing that I could get it accomplished, but then also understanding when I needed help.
Oh, that's good.
You know, and one of the things that I can say, because I'm on the Carvil network, and what I would say is, Simon Carvil, the executive producer for Love Speaks,
yes,
he has been very integral in ensuring that I was able to move to the next step.
yes.
Because at one point in time, I literally got stuck, and I was within myself. I was saying, do I have enough? Do I need that? I don't know. I kind of feel I'm nervous. I really don't know about this area. How could I go about doing it? Because you can be educated and everything. I mean, degreed up and all that stuff. But there comes a time where you need assistance,
yes,
and you cannot do it all by yourself. And I remember I asked you, I said, may I have Simon's number, please? And I called him. And I said, this is what I want to do and everything of that nature. He said, okay. He's very formal, very proper.
Exactly.
I'm nervous. And he says, and I said, well, this is what I want to do. He said, well, you could have had that done. And I was like, man, I knew I should have called you earlier. You know what I mean? And he was like, yeah. And so it was working, to be honest with you, the challenge for me, and I would be so unauthentic if I would talk about anything else, was understanding that I had the skills to do it,
yeah,
but I also need help to move to various stages.
Yeah.
And it's okay to seek help. It is okay to relearn or learn something else to be able to get it properly done correctly. So for me, the Carvil Network has been an experience for me to equip me to go to the next level, and to also not just go to the next level, but be polished in going to the next level and have a level of excellence, And it was very good when I completed the documentary, the official trailer documentary, however it's called. Excuse me if I forget the proper term, but that's out, the trailer, right? And I shared it with him, and he was like, excellent, it was done. And I was like, yeah, I did it. I was like, I did it. So for me, it has definitely been, that was a challenge. And then the other thing was really, trying to work around other people's schedule, but then also realizing those who are committed to really telling the story and telling the stories and things of that nature. So for to be very transparent and honest, the challenge was me, but really understanding when I needed help to get it to move to the next level, and then being open for someone and individuals that I respect to tell me, Gloria, look at it from this perspective. And for me to be humble enough to say, okay.
That's good. And so that really just shows us no matter what you encounter, there are challenges involved, whether it is a self-challenge or a challenge that involves actually being able to reach out to somebody else when it can be done, reaching out to somebody else. Are there any books or any other podcasts that you have emerged from the RWS project?
Yes, there actually are 2 books.
Okay.
Yes, so the first book is called Innovator, and it is called Prelude in Doc, number 1. And that is developing out the scholarship of the project, because I think that's very important for people to know that there is a scholarship, there's a significance, there's a why that resonates because of the project in itself. What I did not want it to be, it was considered like, oh, this is something like a chitlin circus or something, Exactly. I wanted to have a level of esteem, something that was well respected. It would be well received, well read, and then people will say, whoa, this is a really good introduction on the significance and the why and the relevance of it, you know? And so as an educator, as someone who has written books outside of that and just understanding the acknowledgement that is needed, I wanted it to have a level of esteem and appreciation. And then also from that, interesting enough, I woke up one night and I was like, the Eagle Prelude. And I was like, wait, let me go type this up and see what, you know. And it came to me, you know what, Gloria, do something like a spin. It's called From Bach to Doc.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? And so the name of it is called Aquila Preludium, the Eagle's Prelude from Bach to Doc.
Exactly.
Right, because you know she was
exactly because Dr. Steele and I was a part of that project too. Our concerts were from Bach to gospel,
right?
So that we would travel this nation,
right?
And we would sing. Our program would sing songs that were written from Bach and that across all the way over to Thomas Dorsey and to the father of gospel and to current gospel. And so you took that spin from Bach to gospel and went from Bach to Doc.
From Bach to Doc, yeah.
I love that. I love that.
And so within Aquila Preludium, Bach to Doc, I have taken Bach preludes and formatted into poetry that outlines Dr. Steele's life and her legacy.
Wow. And these books are available?
Yes, they are.
On what platforms?
They're available. You can order directly from www.iglowenterprise.com. That's that's where the Dr. Rebecca Walker Steele Project lives, and also on YouTube as well.
So the RWS Project and the books are on what? iGlow?
iGlow Enterprise.
iGlowEnterprise.com. Don't lose that one. Go there. iGlow.com. What do you hope people and audiences in America would take away from this Rebecca Walker Steele project?
What I would like people to take away from this project is to live in purpose, and to be on purpose. And I believe that one of the things that I talk about, and it's interesting because when you said that question to me, the first thing I thought about was something that I've had written on the website, and I was saying how Dr. Steele led into her purpose unwaveringly, you know, and she didn't falter from that. And oftentimes in life, you know, yes, we may get redirected or narrative change and lenses shift, but how many times do we go off the track, stay off the track, and then it's like, when am I coming back? When am I coming back? She was, even though I'm pretty sure, because she went through a lot of things. Doc was born, you know, when they had black and white bathrooms.
Absolutely.
She was probably, if not so, probably one or two blacks in her class, you know? So she was in a place, in a time, and also we have sometimes now that we have things that are racially influenced and things of that nature, but she stood strong and she went unwaveringly to actually stay the course and be on purpose and stay on purpose. And this is something that I want to share. I remember someone telling me, they said, Gloria, we were on the bus, you know, we were always on the bus, and they were traveling through a town. And through the town, they were saying derogatory statements, right? And, you know, for us, we're not used to hearing that type of stuff. You know, we're like the generation, you know, not like a generation outside of the civil rights, us being able to vote, you know, outside of the colored bathrooms. Like, we are truly the first free generation, you know? And so they were saying these derogatory statements, you know, black, N-words and all this stuff of that nature. And they were kind of actually scared, you know what I mean? It was like, what in the world is going on? And Dr. Steele say, don't say anything. We're going to walk outside. We're going to walk outside. We're going to go into the church and we're going to sing. Now, you know, if Doc said it, we were getting ready to do it.
That's right.
And they said that what they did was they got off the bus, they walked, they sang, and when they came out, when they finished singing, the people were clapping and everything of that nature.
Wow.
So just imagine, you know what I mean? Like, that says a lot about her and how she believes so much in her purpose. So if anything I want people to gravitate from any book, any podcast, is to stay on purpose, to get into purpose and stay on purpose.
That's amazing. Currently, we are in America,
Mm-hmm.
250. What is this, and how does RWS Project impact this initiative?
Well, currently, right now, America is celebrating its 250th year anniversary. And so, one of the things is that they want to highlight individuals, significant opportunities, platforms that really have made a difference. And so, the RWS Project, which is Dr. Rebecca Walker Steele, she is American history.
Yes.
And so, this is why it's important, because she broke barriers as a remarkable businesswoman. You're talking about strategy, educating, and also being able to raise money. An educational philanthropist. Doc has raised millions of dollars. She was a remarkable educational philanthropist. She was an astounding musician, a scholar. She changed lives.
Yes, she did.
And see, within America 250, they want to highlight, who is America's best. Doc is America's best.
Yes.
She is a staple, an icon. We were sitting in the months of history. She would tell us a story. Oh, the eagle and the chicken. And she would talk a lot of things that seemed like would go past our heads, because we were like, 17, 18, 19, 20. Listen to someone who is 75 years old. And now, if Dr. Steele called the meeting, we all would be sitting there like, okay, Doc, what you said? Okay, Doc, I got a problem. What you think I should do about that? Because we were right in the midst of history in the making. We were sitting with, the best,
Absolutely.
She really she had a standard of excellence. And that's what America wants to establish itself on. We're excellent. We're proud of our heritage. And Dr. Steele not only showed that there was pride in heritage, she made the commitment to ensure that heritage would last forever.
Yes.
Through the lens of education, opening doors within music, and also within the arts in general, and also in humanities.
Yes. That was her thing. Own it.
Own it. Own it. She was remarkable in doing that.
Well, we have this game now on season 2, that we're or a question that we're asking. And it's a would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather meet and sit down with your great-great-grandparent, or would you rather meet and sit down with your great-great-grandchildren?
Oh, that's good. I want to do both. Because I want to see my great-great-grandchild with the gray eyes. Where I am now, I would rather, because that's the historian in me.
Yeah.
I would rather go back and meet my great-great-grand,
Exactly.
I really would like to see them, to be like, you look like me. Okay, that's where I get my eyes from. Not being funny, but
Exactly.
but just to have that time to speak with them and gain wisdom, and gain a sense of like, okay, I just think I want to cook with them. Like, what's your recipe?
I hear you.
Your recipes and things of that nature, but I would want to sit with them so that I can gain some wisdom. And I know that my family, they're a long line of pastors and all that stuff, but I would want to know, like,
Exactly.
what got you through? How did you make it through? And what words would you say for me, so that I can live through, so that I can give on to my great-great-grandkids and stuff.
And I think I can agree with you with that. I can really, really agree with you, because a part of me is like, I would love to see, the next couple generations. But if I can go back and gain information that I did not know, to ensure that it is passed on from generation to generation to generation. Yeah. I often have come across family members who would tell me how much I remind them of my great-grandfather, a man that I've never seen, never met, because he had already transitioned before I was born. But he was a preacher and an entrepreneur and a traveler. He did a lot of things. And so that would be, for me, something interesting.
Right.
I even almost to this point now wish I was in a different mindset when my grandmother was living, so I could embrace everything that she put forth, because I think sometimes you take advantage of what you have I mean, oh, that's just grandma. That's
You
just
think they're gonna live forever?
exactly. And so, even if they do live forever,
Yeah.
if you're not in the right mindset,
Yeah,
you
that's
still
true.
miss everything they have parted to you. And what are you passing on to the next generation? It's good to pass on your own experience, but I think it's better to pass on lineage.
Right.
So that's good. Would you rather? This is crazy to me. Would you rather be an amazing artist but not be able to see any of the art you create, or be an amazing musician but not be able to hear any of the music you create?
No.
Okay, well, what producer did that?
What are y'all doing to me? Ah! Neither nother. I want to see. I want to hear it. Oh my God! If I had to choose, you got to read that to me again. I got a little dizzy.
Would you rather be an amazing artist but not be able to see any of the art you create, or be an amazing musician but not be able to hear any of the music you create?
Well, I'm a musician.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna go with the musician part because I still can be able to see. And then also for myself, if I had to step into that lens, I believe that the vibration of the music would also kind of calm me in a sense.
Yeah.
Because I can be able to see the expressions on people's face.
Yeah.
And then if I had to, I could feel the vibration of the music. And maybe that would give me a sense of peace and calmness to the storm that I'll be facing because I couldn't hear it.
Dr. Gloria, thank you so much. This has been phenomenal. Truly.
Yes.
Love is speaking through you, and you are passionate about the Dr. Stills Project. You're passionate about your work. You are earned doctoral degree and recently graduated as a chaplain as well. So you remind me of Dr. Steele again with all of these degrees and just so full of education. I love being surrounded by smart people. They make you look smart.
You are a high intellectual, super duper smart. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. So thank you so much. So to our audience, please like, share, subscribe, click the notification button so that you can be notified every time a new episode drops. Also, don't forget to tune in to Love Speaks Unplugged. For Love Speaks What Love Is, whether it's culturally, spiritually, or currently. So thank you for tuning in to this episode of Love Speaks. Love Speaks is what love is. Love is culturally, love is spiritually, love is connective, and love is current. And so we're so grateful to have you here. So do us a favor, like, share, subscribe on whatever platform that you have, and hit the notification button so every time that we come on, hey, we are here. Every week we're releasing a new episode of great information, and we want you to be a part of it. We do all this with you in mind.